I used flashcards to explain to my brother and his wife why they can't bring their rainbow baby to my wedding. So my brother Andrew and his wife Allison just had their rainbow baby after 3 devastating miscarriages and 2 years of fertility treatments. I was genuinely happy for them. Hazel is absolutely adorable and they deserved this happiness after everything they went through. But then I found out what they were really planning for my wedding, and I was absolutely disgusted. My wedding venue is this gorgeous lakefront property that costs $200 per person. It's basically built on a cliff overlooking the water. Stunning for photos, but definitely not baby friendly. There are no railings, no baby gates, literally nothing to stop a crawling kid from going over the edge. That's why I specifically wrote adults only ceremony on every single invitation. When Andrew got his invite, he immediately called me up. Hey sis, we're obviously bringing Hazel anyway. She's only 6 months old. What could possibly go wrong? I tried explaining the safety concerns, how the venue is basically a death trap for babies, how there's a literal 30-foot drop to the lake with rocks below. But he cut me off mid-sentence. Oh please, you're just jealous because you're not a mom yet, and we are. That comment hit me like a truck. My fiance Shane and I have been trying for 2 years with no success. We've done 3 rounds of IVF that cleaned out our savings. Andrew knew all of this. I was still processing that cruel comment when my cousin Rebecca called me the next day. She works as an event coordinator at the venue, and she had some interesting information. Your brother contacted us directly, she said. He's asking about baby accommodation rates, and whether we could waive the person fee for infants since they don't actually eat real food. My jaw dropped. This wasn't about family bonding or Hazel being precious. Andrew was literally trying to scam a free $200 meal while simultaneously putting his baby in mortal danger at an unsafe venue. But it gets worse. Rebecca pulled up his email chain. He'd also asked if they could provide a complimentary high chair and whether the open bar included formula mixing services. This man was planning to treat my wedding like his personal free restaurant while risking his child's life. I was furious. Not only had he attacked my fertility struggles, but he was trying to cheap out on my wedding while endangering Hazel. So I went to the store, bought a pack of blank flashcards, and created a little educational presentation. Each card had a different fact he clearly didn't understand. Card 1. Venue has literal 30-foot cliff drop to rocks. Card 2. Baby food still costs $200 if you bring her. Card 3. You called your infertile sister jealous about babies. Card 4. Trying to scam free meals makes you look pathetic. Card 5. Endangering Hazel for free food makes you a terrible parent. I showed up at their house during dinner time when I knew they'd both be home. Allison answered the door looking confused, and I walked right past her into their dining room where Andrew was feeding Hazel in her high chair. We need to talk, I announced, pulling out my flashcards like a teacher addressing problem students. I went through each card slowly, watching Andrew's face change from annoyed to embarrassed to completely mortified. Allison kept looking between us, clearly having no idea about his scheme. When I got to the card about him calling me jealous, Allison's face went white. Andrew, you said what to her? But the real kicker was when I showed them Rebecca's printed emails. Andrew tried to grab them, but Allison snatched them first and read every single word. The room went dead silent except for Hazel babbling happily, completely unaware her dad was being exposed as a cheapskate. You were going to risk our daughter's safety for a free meal? Allison whispered, her voice shaking. Andrew started stuttering excuses, but I held up my final flashcard. Find a babysitter or find a new brother. Allison stood up, still holding Hazel, and looked directly at me. We'll find a babysitter. And Andrew owes you a massive apology. 3 days later, Andrew sent me a long text apologizing for everything. The cruel comment, the scamming attempt, and putting his own child at risk for free food. Hazel stayed safe with Allison's mom during the wedding. My ceremony was perfect, and Andrew learned that being a parent doesn't entitle you to free stuff or give you permission to be cruel to family members struggling with infertility.